reading the 14-page indictment yesterday were that there are a lot of people in Hollywood who are probably worried about which Diddy parties they were at and what was going on. That's not to say that they were necessarily even involved in any of the things that are alleged by the U.S. Attorney's Office. But if you're at that party and it turns out that that's when he set up one of these freak-off sex parties, or that it was going on in another room and you didn't know about it, there's a good chance that you're going to be called by the U.S. Attorney's Office.
As alleged in the indictment, to carry out this conduct, Sean Combs led and participated in a racketeering conspiracy that used the business empire he controlled to carry out criminal activity, including sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and the obstruction of justice.
Diddy is facing serious trouble with the feds, and now rumors are circulating that he might drag Jay-Z into the situation as well. It appears that it's open season for any celebrity who takes pride in being associated with him.
What I heard is that over the next 18 months, and honestly, when did Diddy start getting exposed? It was in December, or was it January? When did the Diddy stuff pop off? Because I knew about 2 years ago I knew about a year before the Diddy stuff went down that was going down first. Then it's going to be Jay-Z. Excuse me, November? Okay. After the powers that be, the PTB, the industry, whatever you want to call them, once they're done with Diddy, right? And this is going to be going on for some time, but once, I guess you can say the public humiliation, basically after the major documentaries come out, right? After they are done with Diddy, Jay-Z is up next to be exposed, right?
But why Jay-Z? Has he ever done anything wrong? Jaguar Wright has been accusing him of serious crimes for years now.
I said he was going to jail because God told me he was going to jail.
Have you ever been in one of these Diddy parties?
Yes, I have. I sat down with Storm Monroe 4 years ago and said that man was an extra, and he was using the business to extract young women and men. I said all. But when I pray for something, it always comes true. And I prayed the same prayer for Sean Carter. Y'all better get ready. I knew between the two Seans, go for the weaker one. Go for the knees. And I told Sean Carter, you are so closely tied to Diddy.
She also mentioned how Diddy has been involved in problematic behavior for years.
Being that he's in there with the feds and all that, you think Diddy gonna start giving up some names?
What are you talking about? He's been giving up names for years.
Okay.
Make no mistake about it, him, Sean Carter and Sean Combs are government informants. There is absolutely no way guys like this, who were the bottoms in their neighborhood, end up on top without government sanctioned help. These aren't the kind of guys that started off super scary. They hung with the super scary guys, but these weren't the kind of guys that started off. See, everybody sees them for who they are now, but you're not imagining who the they were. Who they were before. Before they made their little special deals. Before they started doing all of the things they do. And listen, go back and listen to Gene Deal. There was an evolution from Puffy to the Diddler.
But how did Diddy manage all this? How did he gather so much dirt on people? It might be because he recorded everything that happened at his parties, often without consent.
Jay's speaking on it right now. He'll be one of the first dudes that they'll probably pull to the side and say, yo, well, you say that your man, I heard you on TMZ said that he never did this and he never did that, but ain't this you? If those pictures or those films or anything like that exists. You know what I'm saying? That's what they pay those agents to do. So, of course, I don't believe that none of the people who are his celebrity friends is gonna speak or say nothing until they're either contacted or they know what they really got.
So you feel like they might be worried that they might be on tape at one of Diddy parties doing something they wasn't supposed to be doing?
I think that the celebrities that may be worried is because what Lil Rob said. Lil Rob said in his affidavit that Diddy had every room taped and bugged. Diddy had, yo, bro, can you imagine he had every room taped and bugged, and they found little bugs and little tape recorders, little those micro projectors or whatever like that, or video cameras. They found them in the house, bro. So by them having those things in the house, and people know there's alcohol, there's loose women, there's loose men, woman on woman, man on man, all kind of crazy shit. Bruh, they just wondering who or when they're gonna let this stuff be known. If it's on videotape.
Yeah, man, I know they gotta be shook, man, after finding out he was recording everything.
But not only celebrities, I don't think it's only celebrities gonna be shook. He had politicians in there. He had princes in there. He also had a couple of preachers in there. Hallelujah. That's crazy.
You personally, you think they got tapes?
Well, my personal opinion that if Lil Rob could be trusted and his statement are true, they got him. They got tapes and stuff.
Diddy has been a major player in Hollywood for decades, always surrounded by an A-list crowd that includes Jay-Z, Beyonce, Rick Ross, Usher, and even Justin Bieber. When he threw his extravagant 50th birthday bash at a mansion in Beverly Hills in 2019, the guest list was packed with stars like Kim Kardashian, Kanye West, Pharrell, and Snoop Dogg. You know it's a party when you've got that kind of lineup. However, with serious legal issues looming over him, his famous friends might find themselves in a tricky position. Former prosecutor Nima Rahmani, who heads up West Coast trial lawyers, spoke to the U.S. Sun about the potential fallout for Diddy's A-list crew if this case goes to trial. According to Rahmani, figures like Jay-Z could technically be subpoenaed, but don't expect to see them taking the stand.
Why does it all come to a head now? Why now? Why?
Because he's the acceptable monster at this time, like R. Kelly was the last time I sat on this couch.
So who's next?
Y'all don't see the lineup?
Yeah, we see the lineup. I'm just waiting to see who's next.
Jay-Z is setting Diddy up.
As for Jay-Z, Rahmani explained that if he's just a witness and didn't take part in the alleged acts, he might be asked to testify. However, if he was involved, he would either face charges or be conveniently left off the witness list, since prosecutors typically avoid calling witnesses who participated in crimes but are getting a free pass. Rahmani noted that Jay-Z and Diddy have a long history together, dating back to the early 90s, and their friendship has remained solid for years. However, things got a bit awkward earlier this year when 50 Cent called out Jay-Z for staying silent after police raided Diddy's house. He even joked on Instagram, posting a picture of a milk carton with Jay-Z's face and the word missing on it. Classic 50 Cent. In Rahmani's view, none of Diddy's celebrity friends are likely to rush to his defense as this legal storm brews. The only ones who might stand by him are his family and a few close friends. Diddy is in deep trouble, and things aren't looking good for him.
It's all because of his mentors and the people that trained him and taught him the music business. You know, it's all about the people who trained and taught him the music business, because Puff wasn't, he wasn't born a monster. You know what I'm saying? He was made into a monster, brother. Do you understand what I'm saying? He was made into a monster from the stuff that happened to him, the things that he had to do You understand? The things that he had to do to become who he is. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's like this, brother. You never like something so much that you can't do without, and you never be willing to do anything to get where you want to be at. You gotta have principles, you gotta have morals, you gotta keep with that stuff. And in that music business, a lot of that stuff get thrown out the window. You understand? And that's what happened to him. He started doing the things to other people that was done to him. To keep it frank, he was doing the things to other people that was done to him. And it is what it is. You gotta know better. And if you know better, you will do better. When he was in New York City, he was like that gecko from the Geico commercial. Then he turned and started going, when he lived in Cali and Miami, he turned into Godzilla. I would see him talk about how he was never like that. Smoking cigarettes, smoking weed and everything like that. He turned into something that you could consider a monster, bro.
He went on to discuss how he learned this predatory behavior from all the big celebrities around him.
You gotta realize, man, he learned from Andre Harrell. He learned from Russell Simmons. He learned from Clyde Davis. You understand? When those people are telling you that they were heavy into they was heavy into beating women and doing things at that age, at that crazy stage, that's gonna make him think that he could get away with the same thing that they was getting away with back then. You understand? The things that he was saying, you know, the touchy-feely between two men and all that stuff like that, man. All that, he learned that from them dudes. When I told y'all the story, when me and my man went up to Russell Simmons, and he had a house, and he had a man in bikini drawers in his bedroom, in his bed. You understand? Bruh, this is that he learned. I'm assuming he learned it from them. Let me put that. And I'm not gonna say alleged because I saw that for my own self. My man was with me, Slick was with me, and we saw that for our own self. You understand what I'm saying? So these are behaviors and things that would, and all the stuff that's going on, pills, drinking, it can make this man into a monster, and that's what it did, bro. It made him into a monster, bro.
Prosecutors are accusing the hip-hop mogul of orchestrating wild, drug-fueled sexual marathons called freak-offs involving female victims and male sex workers. These so-called performances sometimes lasted for days. Diddy, who pleaded not guilty, tried to secure bail by proposing some strict conditions. He promised to limit female visitors to his Miami Beach mansion, hoping that would help his case. His legal team pushed for a $50 million bail deal, using his Miami home as collateral. They also offered to have him electronically monitored and to restrict visitors to just family, caretakers, and friends not connected to the federal case. Unfortunately, their efforts didn't work. Interview 9.
Diddy Combs has been denied bail in connection with the sexual abuse and sex trafficking charges he faces. And as Les Trent reports, the music mogul who once traveled by private jet to all those mansions is now in a jail that is notorious for its bad living conditions.
Music mogul Sean Diddy Combs spent his first night behind bars inside a facility that is being called Hell on Earth.
According to reports, Diddy's team was willing to provide a log of all his visitors to the government every night and agreed to weekly drug testing. These restrictions were intended to ease the court's concerns about Diddy potentially intimidating or contacting witnesses. However, the prosecutors weren't convinced. They highlighted Diddy's history of intimidating accusers and witnesses, which made them wary of his release. Interview 10.
In late 2023, after public allegations were made about Combs' crimes, he and others pressured witnesses and victims to stay silent, including by making phone calls to witnesses and victims and giving them a false narrative of what they had experienced. And as alleged, Combs used others to help conceal his abuse by monitoring and preventing victims from leaving a location in order to hide their injuries, or by locating and contacting a victim who had attempted to flee.
They even presented security footage showing him hitting his then-girlfriend, singer Cassie, in a hotel hallway. The indictment paints a disturbing picture of how Diddy allegedly used his power and prestige to lure women under the guise of romantic relationships, only to coerce them into participating in these so-called freak-offs. These performances were reportedly elaborate, with Diddy directing and recording them while watching from the sidelines. Some of these wild events lasted for days, leaving everyone involved so drained that they needed IV fluids to recover from the physical exhaustion.
Because they don't want to get no kind of put in their system. But what they don't understand is in the orange juice and it's in the cranberry juice. They done put the pills and the stuff in there, the roofies, the ecstasy, the ease, all whatever they put it in the juice. Now, those girls who like the mixed drinks, you understand what I'm saying? They gonna pour their own sexual act because they don't understand it ain't in the bottles, it's in the juice. Those guys, they learn that and they put it to those girls who don't know no better.
Diddy's lawyer, Mark Agnifilo, claims that all the freak-offs were just part of his rocky, on-again, off relationship with singer Cassie, insisting that nothing about those encounters was coercive. However, prosecutors are presenting a different narrative. They state that they have already spoken to over 50 victims and witnesses, and that number is expected to grow.
Was he doing this back then, these freak-off sessions, when you were security? Because I'm looking at this lawsuit, and that's what they would call it, freak-off sessions, when, you know, Cassie, she'll have sex with the male prostitute while he'll masturbate.
Bruh, I can't say, because I can't say that. When I used to see him swing, it was always with him, another dude, and two girls. You know what I'm saying? When he was swinging with other people, you know what I'm saying? He always had other girls in the room or another guy in the room, even with his girl Kim, and he was swinging with her. So that freak off things, but him videotaping and everything like that, no, I can't say that I was privy to that. But you knew what was going on, you know, and just in the instant when people got it confused when I said, when he was in the room with Sarah and her girlfriend, and he had Ja Rule and him in the room. Yo, I didn't know they was doing anything freaky until Ja came out and said, yo, y'all didn't want to be in there because there's a lot of freaky things going on. So I guess that was one of those freak-off sections.
When authorities searched Diddy's home earlier this year, they reportedly found numerous videos of the infamous freak-offs, along with more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant. The indictment portrays a violent image of Combs, accusing him of choking, shoving, hitting, kicking, and even dragging victims by their hair, resulting in serious injuries. He allegedly did this to one of his exes, Misa Hilton, as well.
A lot of people didn't even think that you know, Cassie was telling lies, Gene been telling lies, Lil Rob been telling lies, everybody lying on Diddy. But Diddy told the truth. Diddy's the only one told the truth. He said, y'all just keep watching, the truth will soon come out. And you see what came out? My man, he punching that little girl in the head. Yo, you don't even kick a dog, man. You don't even kick a dog, bro. He kicking that little girl like she's a dog, man. It was crazy, man. Any man that has a sister, any man that has a friend that's a girl, any man that has a child, you understand, who saw that, if they wasn't appalled, if they wasn't like, yo, I wanna beat the, you know what I'm saying? We can't say that on television, man, or on the internet or YouTube, but any man who saw that wish they could put their hands on Diddy at that time, bro.
That shit was appalling, bruh. It was crazy, man. And when I saw it, you know, I could imagine what Kim went through. I could imagine what Misa went through. You understand? It was just crazy, man, for that dude to do that to that girl like that, man.
I can't believe what I seen, man. I still can't believe what I seen in that video, man. Like the way he was kicking her was like he was kicking a field goal, man.
Bruh, when I saw him run down the, first of all, when I saw the white towel, I got flashbacks of him and Ja Rule running out the room. He beat that woman till she was crawling up under a car, man. No matter how small she was crawling up under the car, man. You got to be real scared, man.